Hey Star Wars fans, welcome to another Order 66 Toys video, and today we're going to discuss, we don't really have anything, we have lots of Star Wars stuff, but today we're going to discuss different kinds of collectors. Now I'm assuming with this title, it was just kind of dropped on me, but we're talking about Star Wars collectors, right?
This video is my idea.
Are we doing Star Wars collectors, or are we doing...
What type of Star Wars collector are you?
So, which type of Star Wars collector are you? There are many forms of Star Wars collecting. There are people who collect housewares, there are people who collect action figures,
I think
statues,
we're going to stick to
busts,
action figures.
Apparel. Like, I collect t-shirts. What you got? This is my t-shirt of today. It's awesome. Love it.
So the premise of the video today is, how deep do you want to go? Because a lot of people, their first collection is going to be vintage. A lot of people that we deal with, it's vintage. Nowadays, the people that are getting into it are more getting into the Black Series.
Black Series seems to be the GOAT nowadays. It seems to be what drags people in. So,
well, you know, it's a finite amount. There's about, you know, maybe 150 pieces total, and you can get them loose or you can get them in a box, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Let's walk over there. So, the discussion today is, what kind of collector are you? Do you collect vintage? Do you collect vintage loose? Do you collect them on the card? If you want them on the card, do you only collect one of each figure, or do you collect all the variants? But we're going to start here with Black Series. So, like everybody I'm sure knows by now, there's 3 different versions of the Black Series.
There's the orange box, which was the original run, started in 2013. Then they switched over to the blue box, and if you aren't familiar with that story, the reason why they changed it to the blue box is because it had more window than box on the front of it, so that you could actually have Chewie fit in the box instead of having to cram his legs, and also Vader. And then when Force Awakens was coming out, they decided to change it again to what is currently the red box. So we've been with the red box since Force Awakens. Started with Finn. We're all the way up to Forlom right now. Still waiting on Hasbro
67 pieces.
Hurry it up and release the waves we've been waiting on for how long now? Like 2 months?
Yeah.
Over 2 months? A little over 2 months, yeah.
And here in Texas, man, we're not getting hardly any of the exclusives. And
nope. Minban was supposed to be out with Chewie. Chewie's been out for over a month. Almost 2 months, and we still don't have him anywhere. In fact, if you were lucky enough to find a UPC code online from someone who got him overseas, or bought him from someone overseas and got him in America somehow, and you got the UPC code, it actually does not scan in Walmart's database. It doesn't show up.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. But, so what we're trying to get to today is, what kind of collector are you? So, if you're going with Black Series and you're a new collector, or even if you're an original collector and you're in the Black Series stuff now, so there's 2 different ways to collect them. There's boxed, sealed, or, let's walk over here,
or there's also loose. Now, from my experience here at Order 66 Toys,
there's some of our other stuff.
From collectors here, most collectors that I've engaged with Black Series wise collect in box. There are some guys who open, but I would say it would be like a 70-30 ratio.
Watch out.
Oh, so sorry. I was trying to avoid him.
That's what happens when you walk backwards.
So yeah, I would say it's like a 70-30 ratio to collectors who collect in-box versus out-box when it comes to the Black Series.
Massimo says, I also collect... So the first comment was, I'm a Black Series opener, except for special pieces, also have my figures from the 90s.
I would say I'm the same way. I don't collect everything in Black Series personally. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you're probably familiar that I collect everything Empire, First Order, and clones. I don't know if I have a clone up here right now, but I do have some in stock. And that's just what I collect, and I open my stuff. But there are those couple pieces that I don't open. For example, my Thrawn.
You could even break this down further. So, do you collect 6-inch? Do you collect bust? Do you collect vintage 3 3/4, modern 3 3/4? So, as far as 6-inch goes, some people might be saying, well, 6-inch is nothing but Black Series. That's not true.
That's not true.
There's the Disney Elite Series.
There's also,
which is the ones with the big base, and they're made out of metal.
There's SH Figure Arts.
And then there's SH Figure Arts, which a lot of people are falling in love with very quickly.
I like them. I think they're really good figures. The face sculpts are really nice and detailed on those Figure Arts figures. I even like that they have multiple interchangeable hands for different poses. They even come with extra face sculpts too. The Figure Arts are awesome. It's just, they're really expensive. I could buy like 3 or 4 Black Series per one Figure Arts figure.
Right.
And me being a collector at the volume I collect, it doesn't make sense for me to go for Figure Arts unless it's like a very special character that I have not gotten in Black Series that I just absolutely have to have.
A significant amount.
There is. Like for example, the Mace Windu I just showed off. There is still no Mace Windu for Black Series. I don't know why.
Steve Brent said Figure Arts equals mini Hot Toys.
Basically, I would say that's a good
6-inch Hot Toys.
Definitely good comparison right there.
And that's a whole nother question that we could add to this. Do you collect 12-inch? Okay, we'll break it down into 12-inch. Collector Series, Action Collection, Sideshows, Hot Toys. There's a lot. There is
a lot there. Sideshow seems to be the favorite amongst the collectors that have come in this store from what I've seen. Most people who actually collect the 12-inch are usually asking us for Sideshows. Hey, do you have any more clones? No, we just sold out of them.
Right.
And then
there's also the Gentle Giant stuff up top as far as 12-inch.
And those,
a lot of people collect those.
Those can go back to those vintage lovers. You know, it's those same vintage pieces that they all know and love. It's just blowed up and on the same card.
There's another good point.
What's that?
John said he collects Pops.
Some people, a lot of people collect Pops now too. And Pops is nice because you can mix it with so many different things. It's a nice medium to get bits of your Star Wars, and then you can get bits of Marvel, bits of DC, your favorite other movies, or shows or games. It incorporates so much that I think Pops is one of the better collectibles nowadays because it includes everybody, Well, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so as far as 6-inch, we pretty much got that covered.
Yeah.
Now let's say you want to do 3 3/4. So
3 3/4 is, in my opinion, if you're a collector who just
that's like the heart and soul of Star Wars.
It is. If you're a collector who likes to collect everything in Star Wars, pretty much, you need to have every character possible. It doesn't matter which character they were, if they were background, if they're expanded universe. 3 3/4 is the collectibles for you.
But let's say they narrow it down to 3 3/4, and let's say they get it all the way down to loose, modern 3 3/4. They go through all these categories. This is what I want to collect: loose, modern, 3 3/4. Okay. Now, in addition to having to go through all those categories and narrow down your stuff, you also have: are you an army builder? Are you a diorama builder? Are you a completist like I am? Are you where do you want to take your collection?
And with 3 3/4, I feel the sky is the limit. I feel, as far as Star Wars collectibles go, this is the one that will keep you busy the longest out of all of the current Star Wars collectibles on the market. 3 3/4 will keep you the busiest for the absolute longest. There's just so much here.
If you wanted to,
you'll never stop.
If you wanted to collect 3 3/4 inch, you really could just be like, okay, I'm going to start with a couple figures. Okay, now I got those figures. Now I want to go with some scenes. I want to build some scenes. Okay, well now, what scenes do you want to build? You have to go from there. You're expanding, you keep expanding. Okay, well now I got all the scenes that I want to get done. Now, maybe let's take a look at some of the carded stuff. I'd like to have some carded stuff up on my wall, Maybe I'll just start with the figures that I like. Okay, well now I have all the figures that I like, but I didn't realize how many figures I liked. I might as well finish off the set.
And that's actually how mine snowballed. In fact, that's actually part of the backstory of how I even got involved with Order 66 was Rogue One sucked me back into Star Wars, because at that time, I only really collected some Imperial figures here and there, and like if I found them at like a thrift store or like a garage sale, it's like, oh cool, yeah, I'll give you like a nickel for that. And then I watched Rogue One, and I fell in love with it, and I was like, okay, well, I want to get the whole Rogue One cast. And then I got the whole Rogue One cast, so I was like, oh wait, I don't have a Tarkin figure, and I saw a Tarkin figure, so I bought that. I was like, wait, I need this figure too. And then I just kept building and building.
Now I need Stormtroopers to go with my Tarkin. Now I need...
Exactly. And now my collection for 3 3/4 is to the point of where I have several shelves of loose 3 3/4 figures in different categories. I have a shelf of Jedi and Sith.
Morning,
and I have
Peter.
at least 50 different Jedi figures on my shelf.
What's up,
and I'm
David?
missing like 30 or 40 still. I have at least 20 to 30 different Sith figures, and I'm missing a few of those also.
Okay,
I have
but when you
Order.
finish the sets, the individual sets that you want to complete,
Yeah.
where do you go from there?
Well, sometimes so for me, for example, with me, I have some of my favorite characters. There are different variations of a bunch of your favorite characters. For example,
I was going to say that when you get into the carded stuff, now, okay, let's say you got, this one's for you, Mike. Let's say you got an entire set of vintage collection. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now do you want to go back? You want to collect all the variants of the entire set? Okay, well now I got vintage collection. Well, guess what? Vintage collection just started coming out again. And they already released, a whole wave and an exclusive. And, do you want to just get the streamline what was in the store figures on the card, or do you want to go after all the exclusives?
Yeah,
this hobby adds up really quickly.
And it snowballs. It snowballs so quickly. It just builds on itself. You could start small with just
Mike said, yes, I do.
2 or 3 figures, and then the next thing you know, you have a huge man cave just filled wall to wall with figures, and posters, and packaged collectibles, all kinds of different things. Because not only do I collect 3 3/4, I collect Black Series, I collect Marvel Legends, I collect Transformers, I collect Blu-rays, I collect video games, I collect all kinds of different things. But
by the way, we got a 50% off table. Black Series stuff for those of you that are collecting.
And if you guys have any requests of something you see on this 50% off table,
just message
just fire some messages away. As we also have another clearance table today.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
So as far as so let's call it good with the modern 3 3/4 and stuff.
What about vehicles?
Okay, so then exactly, you get into vehicles, you get into these play sets, you get into stuff like that.
Comic packs, micro machines. I've been getting a lot of micro machines lately. The
Micro
Action Fleet
Machines is
stuff,
an entire different animal by itself.
It's the Action Fleet is highly collectible, even compared to the 3 3/4 vehicles.
Oh, Kelly, we're sold out of the Sand Trooper dewback right now. We're trying to get some more in, but they sold out really quick through us.
Part of it was we had it before anybody else, even before retail got them. Our shipment came in really early.
Yeah, like a month before they were supposed to be released.
And then everybody who walked in was like, oh my gosh, you guys have this? And then we did that review on it. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that video. It should be somewhere in our Facebook.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page and you just click on the videos tabs, it's real easy to get through all the videos instead of having to scroll through everything that we post.
And here pretty soon it's going to be even easier, as right now we're working on transferring all of our Facebook Live videos over to a YouTube channel just for you guys, for ease of access. We'll start posting more content to that too as well as soon as we get that rolling. That's going to be in like the next month or so.
Travis, here, let me show you real quick. Travis Dickens. We have one left. And this is another layer to the 6-inch collectibles. Do you want to collect the Black Series, or do you want to collect 40th anniversary on top of that? Mike said, got my first piece from you guys on Christmas. Wife got me the Revenge of the Jedi production poster.
It's a nice piece,
That's
man.
An awesome piece.
That's a good wife right there.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, what were you saying about vehicles?
Oh yeah, I mean, not everybody's into just action figures. What about the vehicles? A lot of people like to just collect the vehicles, or sometimes you need the vehicles to go with your action figures, or vice versa.
Right.
For example, I have a whole wall of TIE fighters. If you've seen me on the Star Wars Collections group, I've actually posted a picture before of my TIE fighter wall. Many of you have actually asked me questions like, oh my gosh, how did you do it? How'd you hang them?
That's awesome, Aaron. Thank you.
But some people like to just display vehicles on their walls.
That's how I started.
Like I was saying with the Action Fleet is even better for that because they're so much smaller, but they still have a decent scale and a decent level of detail to them, to where you can display all of these vehicles, and sometimes they still continue to make vehicles in that style. For example, if you follow me over here, we have the same style.
Heather, can you send Travis a message?
From the Disney store, we have Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer right here. Comes with a little Kylo Ren or Poe Dameron's X-Wing.
So this is kind of the continuation of the original Action Fleet stuff. A little bit bigger.
Pretty much. Not much bigger, but...
So as far as vehicles go, then you have to ask yourself the same question. Do I just want to get a couple vehicles, like my favorite vehicles? Do I want to get all the Imperial vehicles?
Do I want to set up battle scenes? Do I want to have X-Wings and TIE fighters shooting each other up?
Do you want them loose or in the box? Do you want the boxes? Like, how many different TIE fighters are there?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, so like Bobby has one of each TIE fighter.
Almost. I'm missing one.
He's missing one. Where are the vintage Star Wars figures, 77 to 85?
Oh, we started there.
Yeah, we started over there. Let's go back. Used to collect. Stacy says, I used to collect many things, but it just became overdone and never ending. People buying up every single thing and price gouging wasn't fun anymore.
I agree. Yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves as a collector is whenever I'm looking for something, sometimes I have to worry, are these people going to give me a fair price, or are they going to charge me double what it costs for me to get it retail just because they scooped it up in every single piece before I was able to do it? And
just to set the record straight on that, because I try to mention it every time this subject comes up. We do not do that. You will never find me or my team out buying up a whole shelf full of things. I mean, if you see us out shopping somewhere and we got a Star Wars item, it's only because, Bobby or Alex or Tim or somebody, they're looking for that specific item. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go out and buy up all the Walgreens exclusives in the area and then charge triple for them. I'm not going to do that with the Chewbacca that just came out. The ones that we get that are exclusives are
typically trade-ins.
They're
if we can't order them online, they come in usually in trade. We have some awesome guys who like to go out and hunt, and then they'll buy exclusives just so they can use them as store credit here at Order 66 Toys, because we buy, we sell, and we trade. So what these guys do is they'll go out, they'll round up like 2 or 3 as long as they can afford it, and then they'll bring them in here, they'll trade them in, and then they'll grab a couple pieces that they were looking for their own collection.
Stuff that you can't buy in the stores anymore.
Exactly.
And I'll if some of our prices are a little bit higher, then
we do our best to work that out with you. We
try to keep them as low as possible, but really what it comes down to is what did I have to pay to get the item into the store.
pretty much everything in here, despite what its price is, if it's something you've been looking for, if it's something you're just like, oh man, it doesn't quite work with my budget, we'll do our best to help you out. Most of our prices, in a sense, can be considered starting points, especially if you're a collector on a budget. And that's what we're really here
If something is $20 and you got $18 to spend, I'm not going to turn you away.
Not for,
I always tell people a reasonable offer is probably not going to be turned down. Anyways, I'll rant about that all day. So here's something else entirely. Here's the vintage 3 3/4 inch stuff, and you could probably fairly easily get an entire set put together for, I don't know, not counting the last 17, under 3,000 pretty easily.
Especially if you're buying them loose.
Guys, I know you guys are asking about mint on card. We've had this one buyer come in a couple times a month for a couple of months, and I don't know what he's doing with them, if he's just hoarding them, but whenever I get a good mint on card figure,
he comes right in.
He comes in and picks it all up.
And then he's gone till the next time.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, our selection is definitely lacking on mint on card, but back to the point, you could put together a loose collection pretty easily. And then you could say, okay, well, I need X amount of stormtroopers. I need, I'm doing a Cloud City scene. How many Cloud City guards do I need?
I want to fill out my Death Star playset. I want to fill out my Ewok village.
Right.
I got to fill out my Star Destroyer playset. My Cantina playset, my Hoth playset. There are so many playsets in vintage, which is one of the reasons why I personally like the vintage toy line, is because Kenner went all out with a lot of this. They were like, oh, hey, there's this little screen grab right here. Let's make a playset out of that.
Right.
Kids will buy that, and they do. It's really cool to, especially for those who like the diorama build, that's part of what really, I think, turned the gears on collectors who like the diorama build, is we actually got, in a sense, dioramas
we got some
in the
cool
70s and
playsets.
80s.
You got the Creature Cantina, you got Dagobah,
something that
Death Star,
has
Star
since
Destroyer,
kind of stopped building. And it's a real shame.
Ewok City, Ewok Village. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff.
All kinds of cool stuff.
Okay, so let's say you're happy with your loose collection, or you started with loose stuff and you're happy with it. Well, there's two ways that you can go. You can go with quantity and just start buying doubles, or you could go with condition. You can slowly but surely upgrade all of your figures condition until either they're perfect, they're mint. You could send them off to AFA. You could start an AFA loose collection. Travis says, I stopped collecting 3.75 when the new movies came out. Another viewer from Australia. What's up, Richie?
Is that because of the quality of the figures, or is that just because you were just kind of done collecting it? You didn't really want to have to keep expanding on all of these characters. And what do you mean by stopped collecting? Did you just get rid of your collection entirely? Did you just cap it off where you were? When collectors say they're done collecting, there is a whole number of sequences of events that follow that. They'll just call it good. All right, this is my stuff, or it's just like, all right, I'm done with this entirely. I know, Josh, you're one of those collectors sometimes when you're just like, okay, I'm done with it. You sell it all, and then focus on whatever else you're collecting.
Well, yeah, but when I do that, for the things that I do that with are things where I care more about the fun of the hunt, the search for the items. Okay, I have every Aliens figure with every variant. That doesn't mean, even though I cannot get anything better for the collection because it's not Star Wars, it's very limited, that doesn't mean I'm ready to sell it because I love that stuff and I have my whole house decorated in it and blah, blah, blah. But, there's some other pieces, like I had a DCU collection at one point and I had every piece, I had every variant. And when I completed it and they were not making the figures anymore, well, okay, I'm gonna sell it to somebody that will enjoy it. Andrew, did you still want that Micro Machine set we had set to the side for you? Travis says, I like the EU stuff, but they quit making it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you, Travis.
What's up, Daniel?
I think it's really sad that they've kind of stopped on the EU stuff. I mean, not completely. They still make some here and there, mostly in Black Series now. And I say that, but there's only like 2 pieces in Black Series for EU so far.
Well, Jaina and Revan.
Revan's not labeled Legends. The only 2 figures labeled Legends in Black Series are Jaina Solo and the Shadow Guard from the Guards of Evil 4-pack. It was a GameStop exclusive. I'd show it to you in the video, but I just sold it, I think, yesterday. My last one.
Travis said they make the same 8 guys from the movies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just different outfits. They made a Luke figure for Episode 8, the Canto Bite Luke. Luke was never on Canto Bite.
Is that what that figure was labeled?
Yeah, with the rain poncho.
Oh yeah, where he and Rey were fighting in the rain.
Yes, we are, Julia.
And then what everyone thought might have been like a cool cane lightsaber, like Darth Maul had in Rebels, was actually just an antenna he force pulled to him.
Yeah. In
the rain. That movie has so many problems.
So aside from the loose vintage, I mean, you have to decide, okay, well, if I'm going to do carded vintage, God, that glare is killing me. Do you guys get vintage sealed vehicles and playsets? Yeah, we do, man, all the time. If you get into vintage carded, you have to decide, okay, do I want everything? Do I want all of the variants? Do I want the card variants, the card back variants? Do I want the different color variants on the actual figures? Do I want the COO variants, which is country of origin? Because some of those have a color variant. Do I want the figures from the playsets? Do I want the playsets sealed? It just goes on and on and on. And let's say you get one of everything. That doesn't mean you're done. Because you can always go back and say, okay, well, my Dengar, my loose Dengar has a scuff on his head. Let me upgrade that. Okay, well, now I have a Dengar that I really like. Let me go get it graded. Well, AFA grades it and it comes back as a 75. Well, guess what? Now you can always upgrade to an AFA 80 and upgrade to an AFA 85. You can do the same thing with the vehicles and playsets that we have over here. By the way, if you're into 12-inch,
these are also on
modern 12-inch. We got 2 tables, 50% off.
All day. And all day
until
tomorrow.
Sunday. Yeah, see, Glasslight. That's a whole nother thing. Those are not even technically Kenner. So Aaron said thinking about starting to collect the Glasslight stuff. So I mean, you're talking about Vligs. I mean, you get a carded Vligs that's 12 to 15,000. We've had them and we can't keep them. Even a loose Vligs is 8 to 10 depending on condition.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Depending on with the coin, without the coin.
But what of those of you who don't really like to collect a whole lot of stuff? Maybe there's just like a couple characters you really like. It's not something you're gonna want to like mess with a whole lot. It's something you want to put on display. There's also busts and statues. We have a bunch of Kotobukias.
Which Kotobukiya is its own collection by itself.
Gentle Giant also does statues. It was funny. For the longest time, I didn't even realize Gentle Giant was actually a company until like last week when we got this Malikan. I thought it was just the nickname for the 12-inch vintage retro figures, basically.
Up there on the wall in the back.
I just thought they were called Gentle Giants because they were big. I know that's silly.
You are a goofball.
I know that's silly, but I didn't realize because it made sense to me. It's like, oh yeah, they're bigger. They're the big figs of the vintage cards. You call them Gentle Giants. That makes sense. Okay. I didn't realize it was actually a company because...
You are getting all the laughing emojis right now.
Hey, that's totally good. I mean, that's legitimately what I thought.
Let's see the guy behind the camera.
Oh, hey, it's Josh. Look at that guy.
Want to hold the camera for a minute?
Sure, I'll hold it for a little while. This is a weird...
I'm almost never on camera.
This is a weird change of pace.
So, we're talking about statues, stuff like that. You can go with all your favorite characters. You can go with very specific characters, you could go with just the animated style, which I like the animated style.
Maybe Aaron. Aaron said maybe that's how they decided on their name.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe I'm not so silly after all.
The gentle giant Leia we got back here?
It's this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. See, I didn't know that was... Don't touch.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. So that's a gentle giant Leia Marquette.
And don't worry, we do have her hands. They're actually in the showcase to be safe. She's just over here.
I think she'll stay back here.
Probably for a good one. I'm glad we kind of moved her back here. I mean, yeah, it was nice having her out in the front, but something could happen. And she is not a cheap piece at all.
Somebody was asking
that would kill the ship.
Somebody was asking about Last 17. I think this is
Look at those.
Pretty much all that we have in stock right now.
Travis Dickens said open Bob's.
That is something that you laugh about. Bob.
Yeah, it is.
Even if you complete everything that you want to complete, you're super happy with your collection. Well, now we have a whole secondary market of customs, of characters and figures that were never even made. So, Bobby, like you were talking about, if you want to get all the Sith Lords, well, they never made Scion. There's only one.
They didn't do Traya.
They didn't do Traya. They've only done one Plagueis, and a lot of people don't like that figure.
Yep.
You know, that's a whole nother realm that you can get into. Once you're happy with your current collection, you can always. The point of this video is you can always be expanding. The universe and the toys and the collectibles are so vast. Like even Steve Sansweet doesn't have everything.
No.
In fact, the last Vlix that we had, he tried to buy from me.
And see, it's funny you talk about like customs for different versions of figures. For example, the only canonical version of Darth Bane that we've seen on screen is completely different from the figure we got.
Right.
The figure looks really cool, and he's got all this like bug armor on him. Right. But then
and it's only in that one 3-pack.
And then,
the Sith Legacy 3-pack.
When they showed him off in Clone Wars, when Yoda was talking to him, or his spirit or whatever, he looked like Shredder from TMNT. So, you know, it's just kind of weird. And for those of you who like to collect customs or commission customs, on my art show, which is going to be July 14th, that's a Saturday, Haley Butler, who is in the comments here, she's watching, I believe, still. She will be, well, she doesn't do customs, but she will be here.
She's one of our featured artists.
One of my other friends who's going to be here, his name is CJ. He does custom figures, and he does some really cool things. I just commissioned him to do a very special Mandalorian custom for me, and maybe I'll show that off if it's complete during the art show. We'll see. Let's see. Travis has Darth Malevel. Darth Malevel, he's part of an awesome
it's like
legacy
a six-pack
or something
squad,
with the Joker squad. He's very hard to come by. 6-inch Black Series Gree. How much? How much do we sell that Gree for? I believe I only have the boxed one left, Timothy. Hey Josh, hey Bobby. Hi Timothy. How's it going, man? Heather says hi Timothy.
Is that our
How
friend?
are you doing? Congrats on the new shop sign. Oh, thank you. We really like this sign. Should we show it in the video? Yeah, we'll show it in the video. Make a custom ship, vehicles, and figures. I would love a custom Defender if someone could pull it off. Right now, we're also processing this really cool loose Action Fleet collection that came in. These are just the packaged ones that we're using to try and complete them.
And we have one Gree left, and he's marked at 60.
We have one Gree left. Here he is in the box. And we have him at $59.66. But, like we said earlier, you know, we'll negotiate. When will a Mud Trooper be released? We don't have any kind of official release on a Mud Trooper.
There is a Black Series. There is a Black Series 6-inch Mud Trooper that has been leaked, but we have no idea when he's coming out.
We have no idea when he's coming out. Are there actually images of the figure, or is it just the rumor that's leaked?
No, I've seen images.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, I'll have to check those out. Supposedly from the...
Yeah, let him send me like 100 pieces.
The rumor on the Mud Trooper is supposedly it'll be coming out in 2019. But the way things have been getting released lately, your guess is as good as mine. Vintage Kenner. Y'all in Portland, we're in Allen, but we do ship. Have y'all run across any Commander Wolves yet? Commander Wolf Haley isn't scheduled to come out until July, and we should be having him in stock because we did put in an order for him. Do you take phone orders? Yes, we do. At Josh and Bobby, I have you a date on the Black Series Gammy. Oh, the Gamorrean.
Oh, nice.
The Gamorrean, I'm not sure yet, bud. I tried scanning the code at Target. It does ring up, but so far they don't have any in stock yet. And last time I scanned the code there, they said they didn't have any shipping to them yet. So it was supposed to come out this month, if you all recall.
Was that the Toys R Us exclusive?
No, the Gamorrean was a Target exclusive.
That's what I thought.
Is a Target exclusive.
All the TRU stuff that has not actually been issued yet.
It's supposed to be Entertainment Earth so far.
Yeah, from what we understand, from what I've been told, both from our Entertainment Earth people and other people in the know, they Entertainment Earth bought up all the rights. I need a Gamorrean guard too, man.
I think a bunch of people need Gamorrean, especially to go with their Java or their SDCC Java.
Well, how fast is Jedi Luke going to go up in value when
Gamorrean hits?
When Gamorrean comes out?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll go up any more than he already has, because he's already pretty expensive.
Well, yeah, but he's steadily been going up. We've been trying to keep track, and on average, these figures, specifically Black Series, are gaining like 25% of value a year.
Mm-hmm.
Commander Wolf is a GameStop, right?
He's a GameStop exclusive, a Barnes & Noble exclusive, and a Disney Store exclusive, unless that's changed very recently.
When will the new Battle Damage Stormtrooper Black Series with blaster bolts come out? Will it come to the U.S.? It will be coming to the U.S.
I want to say it's Amazon exclusive.
I thought it was Walmart. We got to look into that one. It is coming out. It will be coming out in the U.S.
At some point. That was also supposed to be out very soon.
I don't think we have a real street date for it yet.
And before you guys go ahead and ask, because I'm sure that's coming up next, Admiral Piet, if you haven't checked Entertainment Earth, although some people have been getting their orders early, supposedly he's not supposed to be, he got pushed back to August. And the same with General Veers, who is a Walgreens exclusive, also got pushed back to the fall.
That's correct, Timothy.
And he was supposed to come out in like 5 days. No. Veers was supposed to come out 3 or 4 days ago, actually.
Tim was asking about if we thought that there are 2 Han Solo Bespins coming out. I'm 95% sure that there are, because there is a...
I would say so, yes.
In one of the case packs, there is a Bespin Han listed, but it's like 3 waves down the road.
Usually, and this is Carbonite Han excluded, usually whenever there is an exclusive coming out, there is always a regular release or regular exclusive release to follow for a figure.
Aaron said, for once, us Canucks got something before our Southern friends.
No comment.
No comment. Good job.
Good for you, man.
You could always send us some.
Yeah, if you'd
We'd
like.
Appreciate it.
What did you get before us? Because if it's like the Mimban or something, I've been dying to get one for my collection. It's driving me crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Peter says, I wish Hasbro would release more centerpiece items, and Obi-Wan and Vader from A New Hope would be a great piece. We were talking about that this morning. Some people really like the centerpiece stuff. Some people are not fans.
I like the centerpiece stuff for the diorama aspect of it. And it would be 1,000% better as a buyable item if it wasn't, if either release it with the figure that goes with the centerpiece.
Yes, we do, Aaron.
Or don't release a figure at all. But stop doing die-cast characters. That's what makes it terrible.
We were discussing this morning, how we wanted the whatever characters on it, either don't release it with them and have it be a Black Series piece that will go on there, or release it with a Black Series figure.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron said if I can get more, did you guys want Gamorrean guards? Yes. Definitely. Tim says, am I alone in struggling to keep up in the Black Series collecting? Seems like they're knocking them out like rabbits. I can't keep up. We were discussing how we were so mad that they're not releasing stuff fast enough.
They're not. And I could see, like, especially if you're coming into to Black Series collecting a little bit late and you don't have a resource. Well, you do have a resource like us, even if you're far away. But if you don't have that everyday walk-in resource like us to just, they definitely have it still. Oh my gosh, this came out in 2013. They still have X-Wing Luke or R2-D2 or Slave Leia. I mean, Prisoner with Job Leia.
Prisoner with Job.
That was a Ragnarok reference if you didn't catch that.
Christopher Soto says, you guys are both on top of things. Thank you for answering questions.
I tried.
Man behind the camera shows his face. I was wondering who was behind that. Chad said, just got to say, Bobby has the best t-shirt collection in North Texas.
Well, see, I'm glad you point that out because we're thinking about not only expanding my t-shirt collection, but
expanding everybody else's t-shirt collection.
We're here in the very near future. We're going to have one of our special on-staff artists, probably Haley Butler.
Maybe.
If she has the time for it, of course. But we're going to have regular, probably monthly released custom t-shirts from Order 66 Toys, all of original designs and work. And we're going to make those available to you guys as well. So not only will I be showing off more t-shirts of the day, but you guys get to participate in that with me and sharing the fun.
Paul says, will HasLab ever make a 6-inch scale stuff like ATST or original trilogy TIE Fighter? I certainly hope so.
Gosh, I hope so, and I hope not at the same time. I hope so.
It's really good.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you saying so.
No problem. It's cool.
Where's my train flag? Oh, right. I hope so, and I hope not at the same time. I hope so because my love of the Empire is deep, and I would totally buy that TIE Fighter. But I hope not because my love of the Empire runs deep, and I would totally buy that TIE Fighter. So
Bobby's running out of space.
I am running out of space. Like, the First Order TIE Fighter took up a bunch of space on my wall. But it's also it's a gorgeous piece, and I love it very dearly. So
Timothy John Holmes says, cool shirt, Bobby, man of pace. I need some shorts to go with it. And then we're CrossFit ready.
Oh, it's funny you said, because I also thought about, like, wearing a pair of shorts today, because I usually wear my slacks. But I thought about wearing a pair of shorts and then putting one of my Hawaiian shirts over it, because I usually like to do that in the summer. Yeah.
Just having a brain fart.
Do
we have any loose 40th anniversary R2-D2's Black Series?
I might. Why don't you come follow me to my loose Black Series shelf? I do have a.
Do you want to let's show
Let's show them. Okay.
Yeah,
let's show them the new sign in case you haven't seen it yet.
Most people haven't seen the outside of the store yet.
No, they haven't. It's a really nice outside of a store, if I do say so myself. Look at that.
So that's the front of the store.
What does that say?
But that just went up yesterday.
Order 66 Toys, the nation's first all-Star Wars toy store.
Yeah.
D Magazine's best toy store?
D Magazine is Dallas Magazine.
My goodness.
Just so you guys know. Julio says, I opened mine. I'm looking for a black, blue line Yoda. We are out of Yoda right now.
Of Yoda, both loose and sealed.
Aaron said, when you start running out of room, you don't stop collecting. You just get a bigger place.
You just get a bigger place where you pack some things up and then you just keep collecting. Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
So
we're looking for a loose R2-D2 Black Series.
I guarantee you, I do have a loose R2-D2 in my Black Series.
Oh, that's a guarantee. You hear that?
Somewhere. Let's see. And let's see, is this the 40th one? Alex actually told me it's either has a date on the leg, and if it does, it's the orange one, and if it doesn't have a date, it's the 40th. Is it on the left leg?
Timothy.
I think this is the 40th one.
So we'll set that to the side for you, bud, and Heather can send you a message. Tim said, guys, would you please mention to your Hasbro agents, reps, that it would be nice to have a downloadable collect them all collection poster for the Black Series and Vintage collection. Here's the thing, man. We've been fighting an uphill battle for a while
against Hasbro, and we actually don't have any Hasbro reps at all. It's just
No,
mostly us like yelling out into the ether amongst the rest of you. But we are working on something special as far as you guys needing a special resource or database.
There's going to be an Order 66 Toys app pretty soon.
Very soon.
So I'm actually moving my little brother out, who's a computer designer or website designer and knows all the ins and outs. He's going to be putting our
us with that.
Yeah.
Mr. Alex, I assume you have a question.
We are doing another video today, probably around 5 o'clock.
Information. There's a gentleman here with. There's a gentleman here with. He said he called about a week ago. He's got the 3PO R2 Xbox.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
R2 Xbox.
The Xbox 360?
Yeah.
That's a cool Xbox 360. It makes R2D2 noises whenever you turn it on.
Beep boop, beep boop.
320 gigabytes.
My Uncle Tim, who I refer to now as Aunt Tammy, used to have one of those. He's not trans, mind you. It's just
I know.
he lost his manhood in a very sad way. And is undeserving of the title uncle or a manly name.
Okay.
So
We are doing another video today. It'll be at 5 o'clock.
These people are going to write your biography at some point.
If somebody doesn't kill Bobby first.
who's gonna kill Bob?
I don't know.
Definitely not Aunt Tammy. He lives in Austin, last I checked.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all we got right now, guys. I got to go look at this this purchase that just came in.
We'll see you here in a little bit. Oh, one of the other videos I would like to announce. I don't know if it's going to be one of the ones we do today, but eventually
5 o'clock Texas time.
We are going to be doing a video which I have dubbed as Bobby's official, unofficial rewrite of Episode 8. And my friend Alex, who hates practically everything, especially Star Wars at this point, actually really likes it. And before some of you start to thinking, because you know how I feel about Rose and Holdo, because their characters are useless, it actually incorporates them and makes their characters good. Same actresses.
Central Standard Time.
They still probably have about the same amount of dialogue or screen time, and they actually have purpose and use.
Have
so
we
it's
talked
cool.
about Republic gunships yet?
No, we haven't. And that's partially because I have only one Republic gunship in stock at this point. And I don't like to do Know Your Toy videos.
Without having something to compare it to.
Exactly. And since
Maybe we'll do a Know Your Toy today.
Who knows? We'll see. Maybe.
We'll come up with something cool.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
Anyway, stay tuned. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Thanks for tuning in. Tim, I'm holding this R2 for you, so message us about
that
it.
wasn't Tim.
Oh, that
wasn't Tim?
Who was that?
Let me scroll back. Beep boop beep. Massimo Masseri.
Massimo, I'm not going to try that last bit. I'm holding this R2D2 for you. Message us about it. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you.
We love you guys. Check back with us 5 Central Standard Time. Peace.